Tengo la medicina. Hola. Yeah, man. Great day to be alive. I got a little bit of managing to do. I'm on the entry level game. And, I heard somebody today say game is not pursuing and getting women. Game is managing the women that you got. That's what real game happens. I had this shit all twisted. I was able to get women from a cold approach to my bedroom. But there's levels to this shit. And I caught wind of that today. I'm like, damn, bro, it's not just getting the women, it's maintaining them. Solving the problems, putting out the fires. I had one text me today, because I really don't be on that texting shit, reaching out to them, all this. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, my shit is, I'm reaching out to get us to fuck, to link up, so we can connect, do some logistics. That whole texting back and forth to me is fake. It's hard for you to actually build genuine connection with somebody over text. To me, that's fake. I don't know what you're doing. You probably fucking got 10 things going on. You ain't engaged. And it's cool. But I'm not going to sit here and... I'm not big on that texting back and forth. I mean, I'll text you. It just depends. But it's not something that I'm consistently going to sit here and text. She was hitting me up with a couple problems she was having and things that she was not liking, and I get it, so I sent her a little voice message letting her know what's up. Now tomorrow, or the response I get whenever she responds is going to be the one that determines how I handle it. I think I handled it good. Just kept it real, kept it a stack, let her know some things that she may not want to hear. But it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And in that context of her sending me a message, it's about her. Which I get it. Most women are takers. They take dick. They take money from niggas. They take souls. They take. Give me what you got. And that's not what I'm here for. Like, I fuck with women that are asking, what can I do for you? You know what I'm saying? What can I do for you? You need anything? That's the kind of shit that I like. So, you gotta go through the numbers. And this is why it's important to not put all your attention and energy and focus on one girl. Because it's just like trying to build a big corporation and hiring one person and thinking that person is going to be the one to help you break through. Impossible. You need to fucking scale. You need to hire a whole bunch of people and find out who's going to really be about that life. When I think about dating, I really connect it to business. It helps me to be more practical about how to approach it. Because business is not necessarily cutthroat, but it's business, right? It's just what it is. You can't be emotional in business. And the one thing I'll say up front, I'll hedge this up front, I gotta be a better example when it comes to being a business owner, for real. That's just a fact. But I learned lessons from people that are successful. I learned lessons from people that are further along than me. And I've also been an employee and I've gotten fired. And it wasn't personal. I got people that started telling me like, hey, you're on the fucking edge. And it wasn't personal. No matter how good of a person I was, no matter what I was overcoming, no matter what, the fuck shit that no matter what I was doing every day that was good, when I fucked up, it was brought up to my attention, and guess what? It wasn't personal, but they were ready to snip the cord. And at all times in a relationship, you gotta move that way. You gotta move like you are willing to cut the cord, and you actually gotta be willing to. You gotta be okay mentally with cutting that cord. You gotta make these decisions in advance. Like, if you step out of pocket, I'm cutting you out. And you gotta stick firm to that. That's one of the lessons that I kind of fucked up with the previous chick, but I'm glad that I kept hiring. Applications were still being accepted, because now I got another one that's kind of, you know, I got others that are in line to get into the business. It's got to be like that for multiple reasons. But from a personal point of view, if you don't do that, you're going to be giving too much attention to something that's not even worth it. You're going to be holding on to something that's not even there. You get what I'm saying? And you come off with this energy that women aren't attracted to. It's sad but true, but you gotta walk like a demon on this earth, bro. You gotta walk like somebody that's willing to kill. You gotta walk like a motherfucker that's ready to just let go, and she's not valuable enough for you to hold on to. There's nothing about her that says, I'm sticking with you forever. No, bitch, if you step out of line, if you come out of pocket, I will leave your ass. And bigger than that, you actually have to be able to leave her. At first, you're gonna have to let go of some things, man. You're gonna have to let go of the first 5, 10, 20, 30, 50. By actually letting go of some bitches, you're gonna create a confidence. You're gonna create testimonies, if you will, that if you don't say it directly, like if you're talking with a girl, you're saying some stories like, yeah, I had this girl, she was stepping out of pocket, I kicked her ass out. I told her no. This is something that I don't tolerate. She tried to step past that boundary. She's no longer in my life. So these are stories that you'll be able to build, and I'm building from ground zero. You know, it took me a while to start getting results with meeting girls in the market, but I found it. I found my niche. I found my swag, my way to do it. And I realized a couple things that I was missing was logistics and going for more of those, like, and also separating myself from the results specifically with that girl. Just separating myself. And I got to that point when I got through enough women and numbers, I was like, okay. Because once you get results, the good thing is that your confidence goes up. But then when you go out again, and that's the most important thing, is you're going back out, even if you get results. So when you don't get results, it's important to go back out. But even more important is when you do get results, you definitely got to go back out immediately. I say this story often, and I have to have more real life stories so I could build my testimonies and shit. But for now, I'm gonna build off what I got. I had this girl, and I immediately after I fucked, I went out and I went to a gas station. I smoked a cigar, drank some coffee, and I met another girl. You got to move this way. It's more important to go out after you got one. A lot of us think we got it, we scored, we got a prize, first place, we won the championship, we won the Super Bowl, and they forget about next season. They forget about conditioning early in the morning. They forget about practice that's coming up, and they start backsliding. So the reason I'm okay about this, one of the girls that I had in my stable that I was starting to build. You know, my stable's kind of weak right now. I'm not going front. It's, you know, I gotta buy better locks on my doors. I gotta buy better, you know, I gotta buy cameras. I gotta buy security. I gotta get better meat, food. You know, I gotta buy the brushes, and I gotta buy, you know, better equipment, better hats, saddles for my stable. You know, I do gotta build. I'm still building the barn. But I'm I'm gonna teach you guys from the lessons of where I'm at, and hopefully you guys can jump and build a better bond, build a better stable than what I have and what I'm building. But yeah, you know, one of them, you know, I didn't have a good enough lock and she ran away. And I learned through the lessons, like, why did she do it? And it's all because of me. I had her like this, but it's all because of me. It's because things I was communicating. You know, she was very compliant. She would do things, real small things to me. She would ask, what did I do? Do you need anything before coming over? These little things matter, bro. If she started like getting a little attitude, I'd let her know, like, yeah, chill. And she would chill. You know, and these things I was attracted to. That's a lot of the reason why I fucked with that. But I started to slip, and this is why I always talk about you gotta be on point as a man and always focus on yourself, because what could have prevented that was, and this is, you know, after action report, it's not regret, it's after action report. How could I improve? I know if I'm struggling through something, to not mention it to a girl. I heard it through some of my virtual mentors that, like, you never, ever. I kind of tried it again, and it got me. I could have kept it to myself, because the solution, I came up with the solution. I ain't need nobody to fucking figure it out. I'm the one that figured it out. And that's what life is. You got to figure out the problems to your own solution. So I kind of went backwards in communicating that. By me even communicating that, I put myself in the category of like leadership, captain of a yacht, to what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And as a leader, women are looking for leadership. So as a leader, you go to a girl asking her what you gonna do. She don't know what to do. And although, yeah, some women now have results, they have solutions and shit. A lot of times, guys, the shit that women bring to the table is what they got from another man that was leading. I'm gonna say that again. A lot of times, what women bring to the table is shit that they got from another man that was leading. Whether it's knowledge, resources, ideas. A lot of women, they don't, you know, there's a statement as men that we, at least me, give credit where credit is due. I stopped doing it as much because I realized that a lot of my life was, I would just constantly name drop people. So once in a while, I'll name drop a Discord, a server, the founders of a corporation, or where I got a lesson from, but I'm not going to do it all the time anymore. But it's, you know, give credit where credit is due. There's always a place and a time for you to move in your flow and internalize and walk on the lessons you've learned from other people. But there's also a place to say, I'm grateful for XYZ, for the lessons they've taught me, the things they've showed me by example. The reason I am where I am is because of XYZ. There's a place for that. But what I notice is a lot of women, they don't give credit where it's due, bro. Especially when a lot of the credit is due to men that brought them up. The reason they even met the dude that they met today that is at a higher status is because of the hard work that the previous man they were with was putting in. That younger dude, that dude was putting in work. For example, I'm gonna use a real personal example, right? So I didn't break through, I didn't lead this girl to the promised land, which is cool. She has all the right to continue dating and do what she wants. In fact, I prayed, when I believed in Jesus at that time, I prayed for her to find somebody. Before I ever got into the dating world again, I wanted her to be happy. I left the car, the apartment, all that. Here, take it. You got it. I didn't want to be that guy. Even then, I was still a fucker, even with doing all that. But I forgot my point. wasn't talking about options. I'm talking about lessons that I learned and building my stable. You know, so as I'm building my stable, yeah. And I'll be honest, guys, like, I'm transitioning now. I'm shift to 7th gear. You know, I made a decision that there's a couple books I'm gonna pick up, but one of them is from Dan Bilzerian. And the reason I'm picking this up, credit where credit is due. So a lot of women, they are, okay, I know exactly where I was. A lot of women don't give credit where credit is due. So, what I mean, case in point, I was talking about a personal story. So this chick, you know, I didn't take her to the promised land, but I damn near, I helped. That was a big reason. She played a role, she did good, but because of me, not just because of me, but I was a big reason why she elevated to a next level mentally. She started talking different. She started carrying herself different, which by default is gonna help her attract another person. And women marry up. So they're always seeking better. Bigger, better, faster. They're always, and it's cool. There's nothing, I'm not knocking it if that's just the way it is. In fact, every individual should always want better. But when you're getting something from a woman, a lot of times you're getting the residue, you're getting the stream of lessons, resources, connections that she got from another man that's leading. That's just what it is. So when I say this, it's not so much about not accepting it, but just remember, rarely would a girl say, I learned this from my ex. I learned this from this dude that I met at the bar that he dicked me down every Wednesday and Friday, but before he dicked me down, you know, we went to a business meeting and I connected with XYZ. Like, women won't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? They don't give credit where it's due, whether it's, they always want to be the reason. And be very cautious of taking advice from people that are like that. And not just taking the advice. I'll reword that. Be cautious of following people like that. Because advice is going to be advice, and then good advice is good advice. But following somebody like that could give them a false sense of superiority or positioning. But they're riding on the coattail of somebody that they fucked a couple months ago or years ago before they met you. They're not really that person. There's new information and you are looking up to them as if they're the resource, they're the source, but they got that from somebody else and they're not giving credit to that person. Me, I try to give credit where it's due. So right now, the people that come to mind, I'm not gonna do it now, but a lot of people, and I've done it in previous videos. But I'm grateful, bro. I'm not, like, I do come up with stuff. I'm not 100% somebody else, like a robot, like somebody else. I'm not like that. I do creatively think things out of nowhere, and I come up with scenarios, and I have my life stories that I give. But I also learn from other people. I learn a lot from other people. I listen to a lot of information from other people. So, you know, if you fall in the category of only listening to people that have credibility and actually do what you're looking to do, that's cool. If they're telling you, go do this. I'm just openly sharing what I'm learning, letting you know I'm learning this. I might not be the best example, but me not being the best example should not hinder you from taking action on something that is actually beneficial. And one of these things is always having options. When it comes to women, guys, I don't care what they try to sell you, how they try to convince you that you should be only monogamous and all this to them. That is a strategy to hinder you. they may not consciously look at it like that, but I'm telling you, factually, you are being hindered. Your nuts are being taken away. You are being neuterized by essentially putting yourself out of the marketplace, out of the sexual marketplace. When you no longer got the bravado, the confidence, I don't know the right word, but like the ability to go out and meet a girl from nothing to come here, let's chill. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a plan. Let's grab a bite. Let's go to the bar, grab some drinks. And then once you're at the bar, just start heading out. You coming with me until she asks a question, where we going? You coming with me? But where? Don't ask no questions. Bring her to the crib. I still got to get better with getting them over in like real time. I did that with one girl, and she didn't come then, but she came over that night. I tried it. It was powerful, man. Like, I was like, I said something like, put all that away and come on, you come over with me right now. Let's go. And she kind of hesitated, but the point is that that night I got her to come through. No. I don't think I got her to come through that night. I don't remember. It was no longer than 3 days. That I know. Point is that you got to move accordingly, man. And the only way to have the confidence that women respect is by having more women. I don't make these fucking rules up, bro. The only way to have real respect from women is when you have multiple women. Don't know why that is. But it's a win for you too, man. It's actually not a bad thing. What's bad is you thinking that what they say is what they want. That's what's bad. When you're over here thinking that a woman says, oh, I want a man that's faithful, X, Y, Z, and you start doing that, bro, that's when you lose. Because the truth is, a lot of women don't even know what they want. A lot of humans don't know what they want, but a lot of women specifically don't know what they want. And think about this. If you know you don't know what you want, but somebody's listening to you, how are you going to look at that person? Like an idiot. Straight up, you're going to look at that person like an idiot. Like, this motherfucker really listening to me when I don't even know what I want? Fuck out of here. I believe that God is within every man. At first I wanted to say human, but I think we are genuinely different. I believe that we're operating under something completely different. And I never talked about this, but it's just what it is. I believe that the only way to God is through man. And I believe that a woman can't get to God unless she connects with the man. I believe that a woman without a godly man is fucked. I believe that a woman could still utilize a man and still connect to. But I believe that if there was two people, a man and a woman, walking this earth, I believe that that man is going to be in connection with the universe, with the creator of this, And I believe that the woman is connected to something else. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I believe that the only way is like the yin and the yang, positive, negativity. And I believe that together it creates the power, the source that's required. But I believe that somebody has been tapping into this godly power and using it incorrect. And the worst thing is when you don't know that power is within you, but somebody else does. And they use that power for you to make decisions and use that power incorrect. For example, there's times where, and mothers know this, when they utilize the reverential fear of a father for their kids' discipline. I remember when I had my son's mother, one of my son's mother, she reached out telling me about like bad stuff my boy was doing. And him and I haven't talked in a minute. So I had to think how I wanted to approach this. Because I was like, bitch, we haven't really conversed. And I'm definitely not gonna fucking jump on his ass when I know that the result, I know why he's doing that. I know you got his ass playing video games. I know you ain't fucking making him read at night. I know you listening to some crap bullshit. You ain't listening to positive stuff, protecting his mind. I know what games he's playing, so I know what the outcome of that is gonna be. So me knowing this, I could have approached, I could have disciplined him, I could have got mad at him and I didn't even mention it. Take it a step further, I told her, hey, tell me one or two things good that he's doing. And I made sure to when we had that conversation, I said, so I've been hearing some good things about you. And I could tell his facial reaction was like, and I just started saying genuinely what was good. I heard you've been playing outside, you've been going outside, staying active. And I heard you've been doing really good. And I forgot what the other thing was, but I know I've made for sure one thing, but I think I dropped two things. It was like, keep it up. And I kept it at that. I didn't mention anything about the situation, anything. But why I say that is because I don't know if she was deliberately doing this, but I look at it like this. It's like women, they respect the power you have when it benefits them. When it's helping their life become a little easier. But when it becomes an inconvenience for them, for you to be powerful, to be in control, they don't want it. Like, in that situation, she was willing to use my power, my dominant spirit, my father authority to discipline and put that father work in, but she would not be willing to do that if it wasn't specifically towards benefiting an outcome that she wanted. You know, and one thing that I've learned, I'm switching gears to, is, you know, women are okay. You know, this is a fact that I got out of Rollo Tomasi's book, and then Michael Sartain talked about it recently, is women, and this is something, guys, you guys got to remember, women are always going to be okay with moving forward a lot faster than you. And the history behind it is back in the day when warriors or an army took over a village, women had a choice. You're going to either fuck and comply, or you're going to die with your fucking family, with your husband. And there's, you know, I'm sure there was ride or dies. I'm sure they existed, but I'm sure there was a hell of a lot more women that said, tell me what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't want to die. They seen their husbands dead. Fuck that. Where do you need me to go? And women are always going to be valuable from that aspect. A dude just killed XYZ. He sees a baddie. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going to try to kill her unless she tries to come against. Like, all right, bitch, you a body. You seductive, submissive, sexy, get over here, right? So why I say that is because women had to learn to adapt. They had to learn how to get over the past a lot faster than the dude. And that's become a thing now. Like, women genuinely they can move on like this. And it's embedded in them. It's embedded in them to just get over, because they have to learn how to navigate. Think about it, guys. It's like, think about marriages and all that. If we could pull statistics on how fast the next party moves on, it would be fucking crazy. I could make some numbers up, but I don't know factually. But I'm willing to bet the farm, bro, that the number of the statistics of like how quick a woman moves on faster than a dude, astronomical. Because the man is thinking about, damn, like, I put all this work in. Even if he didn't succeed, most men are trying to succeed. Most men are trying to fight through. Some men don't break through, but that doesn't mean they weren't trying. And then, yeah, there's men that just say, fuck it, they throw in the towel. But by that point, a lot of women already made the decision, and they're either fucking somebody else or they have somebody already on deck. But most men actually want to do better, especially if they know. There's situations where men just don't know. You don't know what you don't know, so in that case, it kind of sucks. But for the men that do know and are actually out there grinding and trying, and they just can't break through, they're thinking about the effort. They're thinking about the amount of work, the sacrifice that, even if they didn't make it, the amount of work that they put to make it. Because men understand it's going to require time. They just don't know how long it's going to take. And that's the work, that's the stuff that a man is thinking about after a serious breakup. Like, damn, like, how the fuck? Like, it's like the biggest type of betrayal when you see a woman the next day, the next week with somebody. It's like, how the fuck? And what you realize is, she gravitates to results. So if a man could bring results to her, she's sold. The dream is okay to sell girls or whatnot, but realistically what sells is results. Women love a nigga that can get results. And when you're going through this process, when you're, let's say, in the process of building, you're figuring it out, you're learning, whatever you're doing, and let's say you break up, y'all guys go through that shit, y'all break up. A lot of times she's gonna find somebody that, like, it's like handing the baton over. You know, she's gonna find somebody that is equal or above than you. But usually slightly above. But a lot of women won't give you credit for that. They won't say it was because of that guy that was consistent, that was working, trying to make my life better, that got me to where I even got to meet this new nigga. You know? So I share this because I want you guys to keep pushing forward and always keep your goals in front of you. Know your mission. Know what is it that you're after. Stay consistent with what you want. Keep girls on the back burner. Be real with them, even if it's at the expense of losing the ability to potentially fuck. I'm here to tell you that, yeah, there's going to be a couple that are going to go out. It's just like fishing. They're just going to go. But the ones that stick, when you keep it real, it's going to be worth it. A, because you kept a solid foundation for yourself. And that's really what it's about, guys. It's keeping it real for yourself. You got to re-enter a new phase of living, and that's living under your power. I'm not saying women can't, like, do what they do, whatever. Let them do what they do, bro. Whatever the fuck they've been doing, let them do. But you as a young man, bro, figure this shit out without needing her. Because a lot of times the intent that they have is not for you to win, bro. A lot of times, women's goal is not for their man to succeed. They want a man that is successful. They don't give a fuck about what you're going through, what you got to do to figure it out. They want a man that figured it out. So if a woman's successful, bro, you better stay the fuck away from that bitch if you don't have more success than her. Or you better have a really strong frame about yourself to where you don't enter her success. You remain in poverty, you remain in whatever level you're at until you figure it out. Now, I'm not saying you can't utilize her skill sets, but utilize her skill sets for her to help you. Don't be using yourself to build her up, to build her success. Because remember, a woman's success is for her and her kids, not you. You know, women are very selfish about kids. A lot of times the kid was generated by two humans, but it's her son. It's not our son, it's her son. And I'm not saying this as in like every girl's like that, but the majority are. And I look forward to coming across a culture, a race, women that don't think this way. I have a trip coming up. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but when I get there, man, it's gonna be awesome on so many levels. And this is why I'm driving right now. This is one of the reasons I'm driving. It's gonna be fun. With that, guys, keep pushing, keep developing. Remember, nobody's coming to save you. You gotta figure this out for yourself. You gotta figure this out for yourself. You gotta figure this out for yourself. Don't let nobody hold you back. Remember, this shit is non-stop. Let's go.